This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
All right, we made it to drinking time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast a woman we only know as Jasmine. And she lives in New York City, New York. She recently posted a screenshot from her phone after she got a weird text about a job that she'd applied for. Now, we don't know what the job is, but they asked if she was still interested, and then they insulted her. Now, the person who sent the text claims it was a misspelled word, so it could be an autocorrect, or it could just be that the person who sent the text is a true New Yorker. I'll let you decide, because either way, the job offer text read, and I quote, "Hey, Jasmine, I'm just following up on our paperwork appointment for Monday. Are you still interested in the position? You piece of crap." Jasmine did not take the job. She pointed out it's only minimum wage anyway, but the person who sent this, like, I swear to God, it was a mistake, but that's how it came in.
You piece of crap.
Yeah, are you still interested in the job? You piece of crap. Yeah. So she did not take. Usually, you get called a piece of crap after you've taken the job, not before. Like I said, they said it's autocorrect, but then in my head, I'm like, it's New York City, so it might just be the text they sent. Either way, we toast her.
Piece of crap.
You piece of crap. You want this job, a-hole. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola.
The men's room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can. Real quick, Miles. Speaking of Dove, whatever the hell her name is.
Yeah, Dove Cameron.
She's a Disney star. Dove is her stage name. She picked it herself. They had She's My Cousin. Still, stupid name, though.
Oh. Send her a text.
Yeah, tell her to call into the show sometime so we can figure out who the hell she is.
Yeah.
It's a simple game, Miles, where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Bryce. Welcome to the men's room. Oh, yeah. All right, Bryce, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one of three stories, the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Let's go with interior decorating.
And this story is, in fact, about the butt. A woman was rushed to the hospital with an 8-inch long object stuck in her backside after her love of masturbation went slightly too far. Brittany from Alabama admitted that she was, quote, addicted to masturbation while being single for 3 years and started to explore the world of sexual aids. Quote, too much oil, too much excitement. You just don't have that many hands yourself, so it just happens. I thought it was going to stay. It didn't stay. It just tunneled inside. Now, the unfortunate mishap saw the object get stuck so far in that she could feel it in her back. She says, I panicked for like 20 minutes. Well, Brittany had no choice but to call emergency services and then was sent to General Surgeon Dr. George Crawford, who, as he says, was taken aback when he saw her. He said, quote, when you think about it, the rectum is designed to keep poop off the floor. If you put something far enough up, it will suck it right back up. So under an x-ray examination, Dr. Crawford located the object somewhere near the colon and said Brittany was lucky that it didn't cause any serious damages or bleeding. Well, the doctor used a pair of thin metal tongs and pulled it free from Brittany's backside.
Just like barbecue.
He said that, yes, just like barbecue. I won't burn ends. He said she was lucky the object did not go through her rectal wall. And I tend to agree with that. All you got here is a rectal wall. Anyway, what did Brittany slip up the keister? Was it an electric toothbrush? a soda bottle, a cucumber, or just an old school vibrator? So electric toothbrush, soda bottle, cucumber, or vibrator?
I'm going to go with toothbrush right off the bat. What do you guys think?
Where was this? Alabama?
Alabama.
Brittany in Alabama.
Right, so I'm going to join you, man. I'll go on team toothbrush with it.
That's a soda bottle.
That'd be a pop bottle, Ted.
I wonder if she flosses.
Like, it's got girth on it. Like, that's going to be tough to get up in there.
It's probably a Mountain Dew.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
No, I'm going to join you. You're still going to electric toothbrush there, Bryce?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think, Ted? Are you on
I'm dead serious. Brittany from Alabama. Like,
soda bottle?
I just saw a picture and a ton of mouth hygiene or vegetables around. So, yeah, I'm going with soda bottle.
You don't think she goes to the produce section?
Mouth hygiene and vegetables.
Does she use the cucumber if she successfully removes the cucumber?
Probably.
Maybe for a salad.
Yeah, sure. Toss it.
Yeah,
All right, we're going to find out what she got stuck in there. Was an electric toothbrush, a soda bottle, a cucumber, or a vibrator next?
That was a tease.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
On our category today, I'll profile this interior decorating. A woman had an 8-inch object stuck in her backside. She was engaging in a little self-pleasure, a little exploration there. But unfortunately, it went all the way up there. She said she could actually feel it in her back. The object was removed. She's okay. Question was, is it an electronic toothbrush, a soda bottle, a cucumber, or a vibrator?
And people all over the place with this, man. All 4 options people are on. I like the last one that comes in. This is Julie.
Again,
I'm going
this?
cucumber on this. I've used one.
Well, with Ted's theory, was this... what's
But no, she says she wants to be clear. Julie says, look, I've used a cucumber. Not in that particular location. You can guess where, but she says it works.
Yeah.
But this took place where?
Alabama.
See, that, with what you said about the cucumber and vegetables, made me rethink my choice with a toothbrush. Because it's Alabama.
Right.
Well, I mean, you know.
Why else would you buy a toothbrush then?
That's a good point. Maybe she just...
What about her teeth? So, Bryce, we asked you that very question. Let us start with Ted Smith.
Dang.
You went with the soda bottle. I'm sorry. I don't think she's above it. Just in this case, it just happened to not be. And then, Bryce, you agreed with Miles Montgomery. You went with the electric toothbrush. And look,
Oh, yeah.
no, I'm afraid it was not an electric toothbrush. In this case, it was just a straight old vibrator.
All right.
Now, one person did get it right, because believe it or not, this story comes from a TV show, the name of which I cannot remember, but they said, man, I know that it is the...
Is it Sex Sent Me to the ER?
It's not. It's something like that,
that's
but I think it's very specific. If I remember right, it's very specifically about things getting stuck in there.
All right.
Like, as I was researching the thing, I'm like, oh, there's a TV show. So I don't mind that there's a TV show. It just blew my mind that this woman shows her face, gives her name, and goes on TV to say, yeah, got an 8-inch vibrator stuck in my butt. Like, just not something I would share. That's just me. Call me a privacy freak.
Now for all TV news all time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the men's room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today. The Jim is
Fallon Kimmel.
Seth Meyers,
All right.
Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there in the title. Those guys have talented teams of writers who help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
World Cup qualifying is going on, and it's had some interesting matchups. In fact, one of the games this week was Nigeria versus Ghana. The hashtag for the game was, well, I'm not going to say that.
Kimmel.
Smith.
Damn it! I thought that at first when you said World Cup. I'm like, yeah, it's Ted. And then as you did the joke, I'm like, no, so good on it.
Yeah, good setup.
Yeah, I saw that hashtag the other day, and I was like, I get it,
Right.
but yeah.
Actually, one of the funniest things, it was Colbert Report back when he was doing a Daily Show.
All right.
And they pitched it to, oh, crap, I can't think of the guy's name now. He now hosts Holy Moly, ex-Marine,
Rob Riggle.
Rob Riggle. And so they throw it to Rob Riggle, and it has nothing to do with anything going on in Africa. The first thing he says is like, "Thank you, Stephen. First, I would just like to apologize to our viewers. It turns out the name of the country is Niger." Jesus Christ.
Right, because it's the first three letters. That's what they do.
I know. And hey, trust me, man. And our email subject lines, right? When you glance at them, a lot of times it cuts it off, if you know what I mean. So somebody, hey, about last night. But it always ends with NIG. And I'm like, this better say night when I click on this.
Chris Rock tickets are up on StubHub. Tickets are crazy expensive. It's $886 for a balcony seat, $1,705 for a mezzanine seat. By the end of this tour, Chris Rock will have enough money to actually produce G.I. Jane 2.
Kimmel.
One of the unintended effects of what happened on Sunday is that Chris Rock's ticket sales are up. I went on StubHub. The tickets are crazy expensive. It's $886 for a balcony seat, $1,705 for mezzanine. By the end of this tour, Chris Rock will have enough money to actually produce G.I. Jane 2.
Amazon has been secretly testing its drone delivery program, and this year they plan to drop packages from the sky to more than 1,000 customers. Pretty soon at Amazon headquarters, you're going to be like, Target acquired. Release the Fruit of the Loom 3-pack right now.
Foul.
Yeah, it's foul.
Amazon has been secretly testing its drone delivery program. And this year they plan to drop packages from the sky to more than 1,000 customers. Pretty soon at Amazon headquarters, they're going to be like, Target acquired. Release the Fruit of the Loom 3-pack right now. Yeah.
Believe it or not, Ted, I played golf with a guy who is one of the managers doing that right now here in Seattle.
He's kind of overseeing the airdrop thing?
Oh, yeah. He's got a staff of like 30, 40 people.
Damn.
Yeah. In honor of Easter, Disney World is offering a so-called Boozy Bunny, which features a chocolate rabbit filled with a bourbon drink. It's perfect. It's a perfect treat for people who shouldn't be at Disney World.
Myers?
Yeah, that's him.
In honor of Easter, Disney World will offer a so-called Boozy Bunny, which features a chocolate rabbit filled with a bourbon drink. It's the perfect treat for people who shouldn't be at Disney World.
We brought up a child star, not George Foreman, earlier in the show, Ron Howard. So funny enough, he's making a documentary on Jim Henson for Disney.
That'll be great.
I tell you what, first of all, just so everybody knows.
Yes, he's a graduate from the University of Maryland.
Of College Park, Maryland.
Yeah, but that was a big deal.
It's a massive deal.
It's Jim Henson.
Dude,
Hell yeah.
where I went to school at West Virginia University, they had a degree in puppetry.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody that got that degree, there's one job you could get. It's kind of like being 1988 and want to work in computers. You want to work for Apple or Microsoft, right?
Sure.
So there was only one.
But keep in mind, at the time...
This is a job.
Because it wasn't just Sesame Street and the Muppets or Fraggle Rock. Then you got Dark Crystal. Then Frank Oz went on and did Yoda. But still, some of the tech that they used to recreate Yoda, it came from Jim Henson and his
like
crew,
CG
man.
Stuff.
And it became absolutely massive.
Right.
I mean, it really, really
and
did.
And you had to do that because, you know, I read I'm sure you read the same tidbit. But the original Tron movie.
Yes.
Okay. It did not get nominated for an Academy Award for special effects.
Because
they used computers. So everything...
The Academy said, man, that's cheating.
Right, because nobody did it.
Right, and Tron's like, no, this is the future. James Cameron said, yes.
I'm taking this.
Tron. Legend. Let's see. You know what? We were talking a little bit. I made a joke there. There was something about G.I. Jane 2. Chris Rock did return, or his prices. He did return to a show last night in Boston. Basically, he just came out on stage and said, look, I got a lot of stuff to say about it. Now it's not the time.
Not right now.
I got to figure it out. Plus, the other thing, too, I think he has a good point. He's like, look, I spent a long time coming up with this special to do on stage.
Right.
I don't want to just stand here.
I've got my stuff.
Right, like I don't want to stand there and just talk about what happened.
He also came out and went, how was your weekend?
Yeah, I mean, and I get it. Like, man, as a comedian, especially on his level, and you're doing a tour, this is the equivalent of a band that just put out a new album and going on tour. We really want to do this thing. This is fresh new stuff we want to do. Something went down. Not what I feel like talking about.
The difference between comedians and rock bands is, though, you go to see a comedian hoping he has new stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's
and
true.
I should just say rock bands. I think that's true for any genre. Like you always joke around, right? Here's our new one. People go get a beer, use the bathroom. Whereas like comedians, like it's impressive. Like they're like I'm trying to think like there's
especially when they do an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and to come up with all new material is crazy. I mean, some comedians I've seen will they'll play most of them play 4 or 5 shows in a weekend, right? But some of them will switch from set to set to set that weekend with their doing.
Wow.
So if you go to like the early show then the late show,
it's different.
You could see both.
Just like Prince.
This won't shock you. I'm a late show kind of guy.
I can't believe that.
I know. I don't know that I'm like.
It's a little more loose.
It's a little more loose and
crowd's a little looser, you know.
Yeah,
and he's already been up. He has a feel for what the game plan is.
He's warmed up against the town.
It's like the second half. You just know what works and what doesn't based on where you are.
Well, so it depends on the team.
You make your adjustments at halftime.
If you make adjustments, yeah.
If you make adjustments.
Well, it's tough too. Like areas just change a lot. I feel like Seattle's a specifically different. You know what I mean? Like if you play the DC Improv, you're going to have people from all around that area. But there's a kind of
right. You're fine in Baltimore. You're fine in
Whereas I feel like a lot of jokes you would see in Seattle, aren't going to, like at Bellevue, that's a different crowd.
You know what? You're right, man.
Like it's
you're
very, right. Like that lake has a huge difference maker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't joke about bedazzled jeans in Bellevue, but you can here.
Correct. I mean, look, I'll just say it. Like I saw a comedian at the Parlor and he was just kind of joking about, he was like, yeah, it's just awkward, man. Some people don't want to laugh because they're sitting next to their boss. Especially, right? Because, I mean, that's the thing. Hey, we'll go over there after work. I'll take everybody out. But let's see. Michael Che, you would know him from Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live.
And nothing else.
Also one of the head writers.
I mean, it's like, for most people, if you know Michael Che, it's SNL.
Correct. And Michael Che is a lot like Seth Meyers was, right? It was rare to see Seth Meyers show up in a skit.
Right.
And I feel like Che is the same way. Like if him or Jost show up in a skit, it's pretty funny. Jost you see a little bit more. But it's rare to see him in there. But anyhow, Michael Che, he was doing a show, and again, the comedians on stage don't take everything they say seriously. But it's just he said, "Quote: This is my last year. You know that tie's a clip-on, right? What man wears a clip-on tie to work for 8 years? That's embarrassing." So then, of course, somebody filmed it or talked about it, and he's like, "I'm not leaving SNL. It's a comedy show." Somebody transcribed it and wrote it down.
Yes.
How do people get confused what a comedy show is?
Apparently,
you know what I mean? What did you think you're walking into? Like, there might be some whiff of truth to the story they're telling. It's something that inspired them to come up with their comedy routine. But, it's a comedy show. This is not a documentary. Guys, I mean, come the hell on. Jesus Christ, man.
I don't know. It's one of those things, right? It's even in our business, right? It's kind of one of those things sometimes where people are like, what do you know the line is? Well, there's not set rules, but you'll know when you cross it.
Sure. Yes,
and Michael Richards, he found out the hard way that, right, you blew past the line there.
You blew past the line, but I felt like, hey, man, there was a lot of signs saying, 10 miles within this, 5 miles. Next exit is this. And then welcome to, and then you did it anyway.
Right. Whereas Michael Che is just kind of making a joke. Now, look, he's not kidding about wearing a clip-on tie, and he might even be tired doing update.
He wears it once a week.
Yeah, exactly, but that's probably why he does it.
But that's the joke.
I'm not trying
to, you know what I mean? We don't wear a lot of ties, but when's the last time you wore a clip-on tie?
Never.
Yeah.
Maybe when I was 5.
Do they make them in our size?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the next big event we do, if we have to look quote-unquote good, I'm saying we all get clip-ons.
So the roast of Steve Miggs.
Ooh, that might be the place.
Well, think about it this way. You don't see it much out here, but in New York City, all the cops wear ties. I'm almost positive most of those are just clip-ons.
They should be.
They should be because you can strangle you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that, and if you ever watch a lot of cop shows, it's always kind of to the side when you're at the bar later.
See, but this is what I believe about police, or detectives, if you're rocking a tie, right? You've been wearing that clip-on all goddamn day.
Well, detectives wear real ties.
But wait, now you're going to go to the bar, drink with your friends, then you put on the real one just so you can pull it to the side. And be that guy.
That's the only fun thing about wearing a tie.
When you loosen it up and pull it to the side.
Yeah, like at a wedding.
That is such a great moment, right?
Like at a wedding. You're just waiting for the moment where you could tug it down a little bit and, take the jacket off.
And the necktie.
Yeah. But yeah, you could tug a lot of things. Depends on the wedding. Depends on who's there.
Boy, that is certainly true. My brother, believe it or not, when he got married, they had a dry wedding.
My brother, too.
And
my brother did not.
I could not believe it. But where they got married, right outside of D.C., where they got married about a block away was a liquor store. All right, so all of the adults have been grumbling quietly.
Fontainebleau?
That may have been the joint, man. I don't know, but I was like, look, I got $100. I'm going to the liquor store. Everyone's like, please buy me. But we couldn't drink in the event, so we drank outside of the event, directly in front of it. My brother's like, you've got to be kidding me. I said, man, I love you, I do, but you're a dumbass when you tell people they can't drink.
Smith weddings, I've never seen a dry one. The only rule is, and they always tell people, like, do not give these idiots shots. But inevitably, somebody that, like for instance, last time it was a friend of the family. His wife was driving, so he was like, come on out to the car, man. I'm like, yeah, of course.
Game on.
No. I mean, look, I've been to weddings where there's plenty of booze, but with my family, it's like, you want to go out to the trunk and shotgun one? I'm like, goddamn right I do. You know why I came down here tonight. I feel like I got to mention this. If you've seen the new Gritty.
I have not.
They're the new Gritty reboot of Bel Air. Tonight's the first season finale.
Oh, great timing.
Hey, they made it a tougher version.
Maybe he's trying to live up to it.
Maybe he is.
Current life. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. A magician and illusionist made more than 10 grand from a casino disappear. Meanwhile, a robber in Ohio asked the victim to pinky promise that he wouldn't rat him out to be in the clear. Man gets busted for robbery because of the poop stain on his shirt. When you steal a car and drive another stolen car to court, the cops are in high alert. And someone in Maryland is walking around with $10 million in their pocket. It's time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cop.
Hey, top story. We go to Ohio, where a thief needed to make sure that his victim stayed quiet. The victim was approached by the man who was wearing a ski mask and asked if he was a drug dealer. When the victim said that he wasn't, the thief then pulled a knife and demanded his money. But in order to ensure his escape, he made the victim pinky promise that he wouldn't call police.
Pinky swear.
Why in the... I wish we were in the happy hour so I could say what I honestly think about this. Instead, I'll
10
say,
minutes.
what in the hell are you thinking?
Exactly.
You just stole from them.
Right.
You're still taking their stuff. Exactly. And then you want the pinky promise.
Right.
It'd be one thing, like, if it were unsuccessful... Man. You did not get anything from me, go pinky promise. Well, I'm going to give you a pinky promise, but if you didn't steal from me, I don't care.
Pinky promise is unbreakable, man. I'm just telling you right now. Like, if you pinky promise a man, tell me that you're not keeping that damn thing. You're going to think it's stupid, but as soon as you lock pinkies, you're like, I can't break this damn
Unless you mug me. Then I'm lying. At that point, I promise you, sure.
You would pinky promise it with your fingers crossed behind your back, wouldn't you?
Dude, I'm telling you, my kids would come to me, not so much now, but a couple of years ago when they're younger. I mean... real upset, in tears. I'm like, what the hell happened? They're screaming each other's name.
Sure.
And 10 minutes later, when you get to the meat of it, but they pinky promised. I'm like, oh my God, this is a real thing.
That's right.
I can't tell them, like, okay. All right, guys, if you're going to lock pinkies and you promise this, you got to stick to it. And they do. I mean, that's it. I'm just like, if it's that big of a deal, man, if you're going to pinky promise, it's a promise.
That's right. In other news, sad story out of Maryland, and the lottery is the subject. A year ago, the news came out that someone in Maryland had bought the grand prize jackpot of $10 million. Sorry, they had bought a ticket and won the grand prize jackpot of $10 million after not only choosing the correct numbers, but hitting the double play option as well. As we said, this happened a year ago, and the 1 year mark of that occasion recently came around, and the jackpot was still unclaimed. After a full year without being collected, the money needed to be returned to the state.
Okay, look, this is just me. And now, to be fair, a lot of people that play the lottery play it all the time. So I guess you would forget it's just part of your routine. I don't buy lottery tickets much, so if I do, like,
you're staring at it.
Hyper aware that I have a lottery ticket.
I'm with you, man.
God damn it, $10 million.
Yeah, state officials released a reminder to folks to be sure to double-check their tickets and then claim their prize in a timely manner, which, I'm sorry.
You got a year.
Right, if you can't put it in a year, it's not like they're trying to sneak you out of your money, man. Like, they gave you all the time in the world. And even if you are basically a habitual buyer of lottery tickets.
Yeah, you think in 12 months.
It should also be your habit to then scan the barcode. You know, maybe you're not checking the numbers every night. I get that. But scan the barcode every day when you're buying the ticket.
But if I bought one for $10 million, it's one thing to buy one for $20 grand.
Sure.
I forget. I'll still take $20 grand, make no mistake. But for $10 million, like, that's what I'm aware of.
Right. You're
super aware,
drastic. Right. A woman in California made an interesting choice of a ride to her court hearing. She was due in court recently to answer for the crime of auto theft and did everything right to make sure that she was present in court, of sound mind, and on time. But officers noticed something odd about the car that she had taken to the courthouse because she had literally taken the car to get to court.
Jesus H. Christ.
After it was determined that the car had been stolen, she was taken right back to jail about a mile away. She had stolen a car to drive herself to a hearing about her car theft. I don't...
Yeah, that's not how the game's played.
That is your logic.
No, that's not how the game is won. You can play the game that way.
You can.
You will not win.
I just...
Jesus.
For that moment, I want to live in that brain. Like, all right, noodle this one out for me. Go ahead and make this make sense.
What's your line of thinking that you couldn't call someone else?
Right.
Uber it, whatever. And everyone's got a different situation.
They do.
But I want to know what your situation was. That for a court case, right?
Like, I am Captain Devil's Advocate, benefit of the doubt. I will give you all, absolutely. Make it make sense.
I'm a horrible person, but don't be stupid.
Right.
I mean, that's all. You can be terrible. That's your prerogative. Just please don't be dumb.
A worker putting the finishing touches on a Florida home about to hit the market made an interesting find. You'll never guess what they found in this Florida home, Miles. While getting some,
an alligator.
While getting some new window blinds installed, the worker found someone was already making themselves comfortable in the master bedroom, a 12-foot alligator.
Sweet. Yep. God damn.
He, with the help of a couple of others, managed to wrangle the animal with a rope and remove it before they put it on the market.
You realize Florida is Jurassic Park?
Yes!
Mm-hmm. Right? They're so used to these dinosaurs that they don't really think about it. There's the alligator in the backyard.
My uncle used to live in downtown Naples, which is on the southwestern coast. I saw a video 2 days ago of a Florida panther walking by someone's ring cam. This thing was 175 pounds.
Holy smokes.
So even, hey, how about a panther?
Right?
What do you think?
I didn't think we had those.
I might take alligator.
Jeez, a whiz.
If I'm going to be attacked,
yeah,
I might take alligator.
I will say, I will never not laugh at a gator that they have basically hogtied because he looks like a little criminal with his hands tied behind his back.
Hey, little.
And that is it for your headline. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you up next. Men's Room Happy Hour exclusively on the Odyssey app. Time for a little Dirty Big Dummy next.
Ooh, yes, indeed. It is true. In the meantime, well, we might love about this bitch for 180 seconds or so. Until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.